Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV. It is the 15th of July 2020. We are coming to you live from Nairobi City with the latest stories from across the country. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's begin with our top story tonight. Now, Kenya has recorded 461 new coronavirus cases as focus shifts to health facilities and health workers. Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Rashid Aman said of the 461 cases, 432 are Kenyans, while 29 are foreigners. The government has also discharged 51 more patients, bringing the total number of recoveries to 3,068. 7 more deaths have also been reported in the country, bringing the total number of fatalities to 209. Grace Wangoi reports.
The rising number of COVID-19 infections comes to no surprise for Kenyans who have already braced themselves for the daily announcements that continues to depict the deteriorating COVID-19 status in the country. Of more concern is a rising number of positive healthcare workers. In light of this, during today's status report briefing at the Afya House in Nairobi, Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Rashid Aman laid emphasis on the situation of infection in healthcare facilities.
When health workers are at risk, we are all at risk. COVID-19 infections of healthcare workers have been reported in many countries. Here at home, 450 of our valiant healthcare workers are currently infected.
The question remains whether the numbers will continue increasing, which as of today stands at 450 healthcare workers as the national tally continues to grow. Reassuring the public, the Chief Administrative Secretary says the government has tightened its around prioritizing the safety of healthcare workers by providing adequate PPEs and providing adequate care for those who are already infected. According to him, the rising rate of infections in the healthcare fraternity is due to the following reasons. One is that there is overcrowding in hospitals. Second is that there is a lack of established protocols for prevention control, especially for infectious diseases like COVID-19. Third, poor implementation of infection control guidelines, including proper hand and respiratory hygiene. Fourth is inadequate training in infection control measures for frontline and support staff. In a status report of the infections at the Pumwani Maternity Hospital, the DG, Patrick Amoth, highlighted that over 22 support staff have been infected, assuring the public that thorough training has been done on the remaining staff members to ensure they know how to handle the disease. Lastly is the poor understanding of the virus, which happens to not only be at the national level, but globally as well.
Lack of this training and knowledge leaves them exposed to respiratory-borne infectious diseases due to lack of personal protective equipment, while in other situations it is the poor understanding of the virus.
In line with the government's bid to fight the deadly virus and reduce infection among healthcare workers, the CAS encourages that patients should be isolated immediately they are found positive or suspected to be positive. Secondly is that healthcare workers should be on high alert and treat all as if they were already infected. Third is that standard precautions should always be taken for patients by encouraging hand and respiratory hygiene and proper wearing of masks. Last and not least is that healthcare workers should be monitored to ensure they adhere to healthcare guidelines for prevention of infection. Meanwhile, in today's numbers, Nairobi County continues to lead with 248 positive cases, while Machakos follows with 97. Kiambu has 20 cases, Kajiado 15, Migori 14, Busia 12, and Nakuru 11. Laikipia and Nyeri have 7 cases each, while Kilifi has 6. The rest of the counties in the country have relatively less cases, including Lamu and Uasin Gishu at 4, Kakamega and Kisii at 3, Makueni and Kisumu at 2, Taita Taveta, Bomet, and interestingly Mombasa have 1 case each. Grace Wangoi, Hope TV Newswatch.
Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko now wants the Nairobi Metropolitan Service NMS put under the county government. The continuous back and forth blame game in a bid to control the capital has seen Sonko accusing Nairobi Metropolitan Service Director General Mohamed Badi of blackmail and disregard of the law. Sonko appeared before the Senate Public Accounts and Investments Committee to answer to financial misappropriation allegations against him. Mark Kimondo has the story.
the intergovernmental relations. These are where issues are sometimes canvassed.
The power cuts to control Nairobi City yet again played out today before the Senate Public Accounts and Investment Committee, with Governor Sonko saying the operation of the NMS are illegally and are only meant to taint his track record.
We didn't offer you tea, but you are free to join this lunch.
Appearing before the Senate to answer to audit queries of Nairobi County for 2015-2016, 2016-2017 and 2017-2018 financial years, Governor Sonko now has proposed that the Nairobi Metropolitan Service that was established by President Uhuru Kenyatta March 18 this year.
Because we follow the judiciary protocol. Once you lose a case or a ruling is not in your favor from the magistrate court, the law allows you to go to the next level. So we went to the High Court, Mr. Chair, and we applied for some of the High Court judges who had presided over the matters of Kiambu and Samburu county government.
Badi's commitment to restore the city's lost glory is evident, with even President Uhuru Kenyatta expressing his satisfaction with the progress made in the metropolitan county. With the committee seeking answers to alleged financial misappropriation, Sonko has claimed that the claimant to outwit and outshine each person's hard work has led to the service portraying him as a failure. This coming on backdrop of released scorecard of the Badi Slide Agency, tasked to achieve specified goals under the transferred function.
If you try to make it legalistic, and then it meets all the hurdles that the legal process takes in order to unlock that situation. I belong to the Committee of Reconciliation, and I think if I were to advise you, not in this forum, I would request you to again look for another avenue of reconciliation. Since you fully support the NEMIS and you support the agenda of the President, I think that reconciliation element has a role to play.
The governor sought the adjournment of the session, saying that he was unable to access critical documents owing to the fact he has been blocked from the office following a court order by Justice Mumbi Ngugi. With Sonko being at liberty to present his petition to the Senate to substantially canvass the matter that has also seen counties like Kiambu and Samburu entangled in the same.
And Ngenye. So the two judges...
Sonko and 16 others are charged with corruption and irregular payment that saw the county government lose 357 million shillings. However, the Nairobi chief has denied the allegations, saying they are fights meant to malign his political career. Mark Kimondo for Hope TV, Nairobi.
And Kenya has from today resumed domestic flights, bringing a sigh of relief to the aviation sector that was totally shut down due to coronavirus pandemic. Transport Cabinet Secretary Dr. James Macharia flagged off the first Kenya Airways flight to Mombasa earlier today. People from across the country braced the chilly Nairobi weather to experience the skies once again, with another KQ flight also landing at the Kisumu International Airport. Flight companies Jambo Jet and Safari Link also made their first flights today. Dickens Luvanda reports.
After being locked out for about 3 months due to the coronavirus pandemic, passengers fond of traveling by air had a reason to smile once again after the first KQ flights left the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi for Mombasa and Kisumu International Airports on Wednesday morning. As early as 5 a.m., JKA was a beehive of activities as KQ, Jambo Jet and Safari Link geared up for the resumption of the local flights, with the Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia flagging off the first flights amid strict measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 after halting operations for 99 days.
Monitoring the demand, but to start with, we'll be doing 2 frequencies to Mombasa and 1 to Kisumu, but we will either increase or decrease depending on the demand that we see coming through.
The Kisumu flight left JKIA at 10:30 a.m. and landed at 11:20 a.m. in the Lakeside City with 66 passengers on board, while the plane to Mombasa took off at 10 a.m. In Kisumu, Governor Anyang' Nyong'o flagged off the first flight to Nairobi, where he said his administration is collaborating with the Kenya Airports Authority to ensure that the health protocols at Kisumu International Airport are strictly adhered to. Mombasa Deputy Governor William Kingi, on the other hand, flagged off the first flight to Nairobi from Mombasa International Airport in strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols. While speaking to the media at Moi International Airport, Mombasa, Kenya Airports Authority Acting Managing Director Alex Gitari noted that the resumption of domestic flights in the country is based on comprehensive COVID-19 safety protocols that the authority has put in place at all airports to guide the flight operations.
The flights are on, and so you are able to come all the way to Kisumu.
Hata nimepita pale kumshukuru rubani ambaye ametubeba, amefanya kazi nzuri. Hata kuteremsha ndege ilikuwa njia ya ajabu sana.
As expected, no one is allowed into the airport without wearing a mask, and there is water for persons entering to wash their hands with soap before the screening process begins and temperatures taken. The floors are marked with social distancing stickers to emphasize on the need of observing distance, and stickers reminding everyone to wear a mask at all times. Last week, Transport CS James Macharia said that airlines will not have to drastically reduce the number of passengers because if they carry less than 75% of their passenger capacity, they will incur more losses. International flights in the country are expected to resume on August 1st this year. Besides Kenya, Nigeria already resumed domestic flights after 3 months of COVID-19 restrictions. Dickens Luvanda, Hope TV Newswatch.
Away from that, senators drawn from coastal counties have vowed to oppose the new revenue sharing formula, which is likely to see arid and semi-arid and all coastal counties lose billions of shillings. Led by Taita Taveta Senator Jonas Maruma, the leaders say the new formula is undermining devolution. They have called on the National Treasury to use the existing formula in sharing out monies to counties. Alice Diana has the report.
The new proposal on revenue sharing among counties that will favor densely populated regions continues to cause a big division in the Senate. At least 21 senators drawn from the arid and semi-arid counties have protested the new proposed formula, saying the proposed mechanism will exclude and further marginalize their areas. Senators from the coastal counties have also opposed the third basis revenue sharing formula developed by the Commission on Revenue Allocation that will enable county governments to share equitably the 316.5 billion shillings allocated in the financial year 2020-2021.
Itakuwaje zile counties ambazo tayari zilikuwa marginalized zamani zinaendelea kupoteza pesa? Ule mgao kupitia kwa DORA ama Division of Revenue Act mwaka wa 2019-20 ulipiana counties 316.5 billion. Huu mwaka DORA pia imepeana 316 billion kwa mgao wa pesa wa 2020-2021. Itakuwaje sasa kaunti zingine zianze kupoteza pesa na zingine zianze kuongezewa pesa?
The lawmakers who addressed the press at Parliament buildings in Nairobi vowed to shoot down the motion if tabled before the Senate Assembly on grounds that the proposed sharing formula undermines the gains made in strengthening devolution. According to the formula, Coast region comprising Taita Taveta, Kwale, Mombasa, Kilifi and Lamu counties will lose over 7 billion shillings.
Huu mfumo umeletwa na tunaupinga kwa sababu pesa zinazogawanywa mwaka jana ndio zinazogawanywa mwaka huu. Kwa hivyo ikiwa pesa haziongezeki, ina maana pia kwamba watu pia wasipunguziwe, kwa sababu wakipunguziwa huduma zitazorota katika kaunti zile, na huo ndio utakuwa mwanzo wa kumaliza devolution ama ugatuzi katika nchi yetu, kwa sababu wakati pesa zinaanza kupunguzwa kiholela, ina maana kwamba kwa siku zijazo hata zote zinaweza kukatwa, na itakuwa ina maana kwamba ugatuzi umekufa.
Mimi kama kaunti ya Kwale napoteza 1.1 billion, Mombasa karibu 1 million, Taita 400 million. Can you imagine? This is not something that itatuzorotesha viongozi na kaunti zetu na tutarudi nyuma. So mimi naomba, na kama vile tusimame kidete vile vile kama vile tulivyosimama jana tukasema kwamba hii formula hatutaipitisha, watakubaliana nao, tutatumia mfumo ule tuliokuwa tumetumia. Ile pesa tulipewa 316 billion vile kaganya mara ya kwanza tukaendelea nayo, tuendelee nayo hivyo hivyo.
Other counties on the list of losing a big chunk of the allocation include those in Northeastern, Lower Eastern, Samburu, Narok, Kajiado, Turkana, Kisii and Nyamira counties. Counties that will gain include Kiambu, Nairobi, Kisumu, Murang'a, Meru, Nakuru, Kericho, Kakamega, Trans Nzoia, Bungoma, among others.
The county notes with concern that despite Article 69, Sub-Article 1, granting our people access to revenue generated from the national resources, no guidelines have been put in place to ensure that our people benefit from the revenue collected from the Tsavo National Park.
A special sitting of the Senate called on Tuesday to discuss the formula adjourned without debate after Minority Leader James Orengo called for further consultations on the various proposals submitted by lawmakers. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Alice Diana.
That report from Alice Diana takes us to a short commercial break on Newswatch. We still have more lined up for you. Stay with us.
This is where you belong. Victory Gardens Kitengela by Optiven. This gated community is fully developed, filled with ultra-modern value additions such as Maram roads, electricity, solar street lighting, water, 24/7 security, and trees planted in every plot. Victory Gardens is close to high-end international schools, banks, shopping malls, hospitals, and much more. This is a masterpiece project. Invest in value. Call us today on 0702 8310 83 or visit www.optiven.co.ke. Optiven, celebrating 20 years of serving you. Experience the difference.
Superbook. Watch the new Superbook series from season 3 and 4 exclusively on Hope TV.
Strike these people, I pray, with blindness.
Superbook, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Tunakuletea burudani safi kutoka wanamuziki wa nyimbo za sifa na ibada, mahojiano ya moja kwa moja na mafunzo ya hali ya juu.
Dhamira ya mtu ikifa anaweza fanya anything because kile kinanitofautisha na mbuzi ni dhamira.
There was this time niliambia Mungu, mimi samahani Mungu, lakini naona umenifanya mimi kuwa daraja. Sitaki.
Ni mahali pa uchipuzi na ulezi wa vipaji.
Mwimbaji anaweza itisha akitaka, lakini unajua hiyo ni sauti
hajanunua.
Hujanunua, hiyo ni umebarikiwa nayo. So hiyo unaweza mupeane aidha bure ama. Lakini hii pande nyingine sisi tumeinvest, ni investment ona.
Tunabeba mwili, lakini mimi sikujua hii ni maagano nafanya.
Ungana naye Mwalimu Shaban Brima kila Ijumaa saa 2 jioni na marudio kila Jumamosi saa 10 jioni.
Machozi ya furaha nishangaze Baba, kwa ushuhuda wangu watambua wewe ni Mungu.
Welcome back. This is Hope TV Newswatch. Now, police in Nyeri County have arrested 2 people who are in possession of bang and 300 liters of illicit brew. Among the arrested is a postgraduate student at JKUAT University that has been accused of aiding illegal activities in Nyeri town. Nyeri County Police Commander Adriel Nyange said the police also recovered 3 stolen phones and 1 motorbike reportedly used in criminal activities. Nyange said the suspect was arrested at Karia Dam in the outskirts of Nyeri town, where the illegal drug was being packaged. 50,000 shillings, believed to be proceeds of the illegal trade, were also recovered.
This marijuana is brought from Nanyuki. We have the information and we have even the names of those people who actually bring this marijuana here in Nyeri. We are on pursuit and the officers are following closely them. We shall arrest them. So these motorbikes you see here are the motorbikes which were being used in snatching people's phone. They are used in transporting the marijuana. They are used in committing various crimes. We have arrested the people who actually uses them. We have also taken these motorbikes here with us. You can also see some other things that we have recovered behind here. I want to say this, and I want this categorically to be known, that Nyeri is a no-go zone for the criminals. But if you want to give it a trial, please do it. Do it, and you'll get the same dose.
And to Mombasa now, residents of Kisauni in Mombasa have decried the sorry state of roads in the area, saying their leaders have neglected them. The residents who took to the streets and barricaded a section of the road said local leaders have developed a culture of disappearing immediately after elections and have never given a thought to the plight of residents. They now want the government to build and repair roads within 14 days, failure to which they will resort to weekly demonstrations. The residents have blamed the poor state of the Bamburi Mwisho Utange Road for tragic incidents in the area, saying a group of thugs have taken advantage of the curfew to attack their victims along the road. However, Kisauni MP Ali Mbogo said the protest is a political witch hunt against him.
Tumechoka jamani, magari makubwa haisikii barabara mbovu. Sisi wenye kupanda mahonda na tukutuku na wenye kutembea na maguu ndio tuiona hii shida jamani.
Hii barabara itengezwe kwa sababu tunapata shida, hususan sisi mabodaboda. Pikipiki zetu hapa zaharibika, wakina mama, hata wazee, hata vijana. Uanga tunawaangusha hapa kwa maji.
Zaidi ya watu 15 wamekufa kwa hii barabara. Kina mama wajawazito, watoto wanapelekwa hospitali wagonjwa. Tunawapatia serikali 14 days, siku 14, failure tu kuanza kutengeneza hii barabara. Tutamobilize watu, tutajitokeza kila fortnight, tunajitokeza.
Walirekebisha kuanzia Jocham, wakarikapeti hiyo barabara kuanzia Jocham mpaka Bamburi mwisho karibu na Palestina. So mahali palipobakia ni kilomita 3 peke yake kuanzia Palestina mpaka San Joe Girls. Na shida ambayo imetokezea kwa sababu hii kazi haijaendelea ni kwa sababu contractor baada ya kufanya kazi zote hizi ambazo tumezitaja ali raise certificate. Katika kazi kubwa za serikali unafanya kazi, una raise certificate ya kutaka malipo. Katika zile certificate zote 3,270,000 hakuweza kulipwa zote, lakini alilipwa shilingi milioni 49.8. Na tukaongea na contractor akasema nimepata pesa milioni 49.8, na wiki hii ambayo ni siku ya kesho tulikuwa tunakuja, wameshafanya survey, maana hiyo barabara hiyo kilomita 3 inangolewa yote, si mambo ya patching, ni barabara mpya kabisa. Tunavunja hiyo lami ya zamani yote, tunatoa kila kitu, inatengezwa upya kabisa, ambayo itakuwa ni pana ikuje paka kutoka San Joho mpaka Palestina.
To Kakamega County now, Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has renewed his pledge to fight corruption at the county level. The governor, who spoke during a brief swearing-in ceremony held at the county headquarters, said his administration has employed independent bodies to look into the issue of corruption and bribery that has reportedly been going on at the county. The calls come as residents have accused several leaders of fishy deals and corruption.
I've been doing my own intelligent work. I should not hide you people. And the report is coming out in another 2 weeks' time. If that report touches you, whether you are my friend, whether you are my brother, you must give way. Because as I've said, I want to leave a legacy here when I leave, that the people of Kakamega County entrusted me with some work, some responsibility, and that work I carried out diligently. Recently, when I did some changes here and there was all talk of the entire town was on fire. That this is, the governor is doing this, the governor is doing the same. You know, corruption fights back all the time. So those are things I actually have gone through, because all these years, over 25 years, I have served either national government or county government.
In Nairobi County, hundreds of vulnerable families are set to receive food donations worth 3.8 million shillings from the National Government Affirmative Action Fund. Already, 11 Nairobi Deputy County Commissioners have been handed the consignments that will be distributed to over 900 families in the city. While flagging off the donations, Nairobi County Woman Representative Esther Passaris said the government is targeting 1,800 families in the larger plan, as well as special groups such as those living with disabilities. Passaris has called on well-wishers and other stakeholders to come on board and ensure Kenyans are food secure, saying needy families must be assisted.
We found that during the COVID pandemic, a lot of people were asking for food, and we put a proposal through the RC and through the GAF board. We did an intervention of sanitizers, we did an intervention of masks, and the board gave us an approval. So now we're going to be actually serving 1,800 families are going to get food that will be enough for a week through the Affirmative Action Fund. We're distributing 900 of these bags through the sub-county DCCs.
All right, Newswatch takes another short break. Business news is coming up shortly. Keep it Hope TV.
Fat or thin, and for me, I don't consider myself fat. I consider myself good for my purpose, to hug women. When they come crying and they come and hug me, they just come and I hug them and they cry and cry and cry until they are comfortable.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Join us every Sunday for unlimited, uplifting, powerful worship, only on Extended Worship.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The Standard Chartered Bank Kenya has entered into an agreement with Amref Flying Doctors that will ensure its bank clients get emergency medical evacuation services using a customized client system. Stanchart CEO Kariuki Ngari said the partnership with Amref is timely owing to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic. The move comes at a time that banks are working to cushion their clients from adverse effects of coronavirus.
That Standard Chartered Bank is doing is actually increasing resilience for the health system for your customers by saying that we are here for good. We are here to take care of you, not only for your day-to-day needs, but we are providing you platforms to ensure that when there is that urgent need or emergency need that you didn't anticipate, we are here for good. We are here for you.
This should be a good partnership, and we should have very good discussion with Amref so that we are able to come up and offer a service to our clients. So they are able, in case they need any medical evacuation anywhere within country or within Eastern African region, covering Uganda, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia, and South Sudan, they can be able to be rescued. And we are very proud of this. We are very, very proud of this partnership.
The government has launched the Kenya Joint Sustainable Development Goals Fund for Social Protection. The fund, which is a joint program between UN bodies and the government, will support the country to move from a poverty-targeted approach excluding 78% of the vulnerable population to a more inclusive approach to social protection. Speaking during a virtual meeting at NSSF building, Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui said the program has been allocated 200 million shillings, a grant by UN partners. He said the government is committed to cushion vulnerable populations against poverty by spending approximately 26 billion shillings annually on social assistance programs.
As Kenya develops and moves towards middle-income country status, higher investment in social protection will create greater stability, increased prosperity, a more dynamic and competitive economy. 12% of our communities are on this program, but as our government believes that with continued life cycle intervention, we can minimize the percentage of people under social protection.
The Kenya Joint Programme will build on already existing UN support to the social protection in Kenya by strengthening social protection systems and the linkages between social protection and other sectors such as education, labour, health and agriculture.
The Ministry of Devolution has entered into a partnership with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KNCCI, and Health Relief International to provide aid targeting vulnerable populations and SMEs with a greater focus on post-COVID-19. The partnership seeks to support the Big Four agenda and enhance business development and policy advocacy. The partnership will see businesses supported across the 47 counties as the industry charts post-COVID-19 recovery measures.
Thank you very much, CS, for devolution, and thank you very much, President, for...
Kenya is a very resilient nation, but never in our history has our resilience been tested as it has been in the last 1 year. We had drought, then we had floods, then we had the locust invasion before COVID came. So all these needs all hands on deck to work together, to support our counties, to support our SMEs, to support all those families that have been affected, not just by COVID, by floods and everything else that has come upon us in the last 1 year.
We attach great importance to this agreement that will be signed today, given our status as leading membership business support organization in this country. In partnership with the Ministry of Devolution and ourselves, we have proposed certain areas of cooperation, namely jointly support post-COVID-19 recovery measures, particularly in the health sector, and mechanisms and related programs in all the counties where we have presence in those 47 counties. We also looking at promoting joint national and international development initiatives on Vision 2030, and also looking at the Big Four, EAC regional trade, and the African continental free trade area that is opening gradually agenda as well. Come here.
Now we've come to the tail end of this live broadcast of Newswatch. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Tony Omondi, and our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Murithi. Remember to stay safe. Good night.